I went on a blind date today and ended up marrying the guy on the spot. It happened so fast even I can't believe it. Here's how the whole crazy thing played out. Arg. I'm losing my mind. No inspiration at all. In the middle of the night, I let out a wail, yanked the quilt over my head, and went back to sleep. Lights stayed on in several units at Willow. Management got complaints. Couldn't figure out what was going on, and finally just flipped the breakers off. The next morning I was dragged awake by a string of frantic calls. Hello, I mumbled, not even finishing the greeting before Mom's lion roar exploded through the speaker. I instinctively hurled the phone to the other side of the bed. Hellowed my foot. Get up right now. Put yourself together. And go to that blind date. I booked it. I messaged you the address. And if you blow it off you're dead. She hung up instantly. A second later the location and time landed in my notifications. No guy's name attached. I glanced at the time, still afternoon, plenty of hours, dropped the phone, and dived back into dreamland. When I walked into the cafe I spotted two men waiting. No hesitation, I aimed straight for the handsome suit and tie guy. Food and sex, basic human drives. Right, here for the blind date? I asked, sliding into the chair with blunt directness. Honestly, my parents have been writing me about marriage forever. We're just ordinary small-town folk. They've retired back in Eastbrook to a life of mahjong and square dancing. Only kid. I couldn't stand the torture, so I fled to the city and holed up in a studio loft at Willow. Oh, yeah. By the way, I write novels for a living. He studied me, lifted his teacup in elegant fingers, took a sip, and poured a cup for me too. I wondered which miracle worker Mom had hired to dig up this high-grade specimen. He looked leagues above my pay grade. I'd rolled out of bed, zero makeup, thrown on a hoodie and sweats, and hadn't even run a brush through my hair, major bedhead knots. He, on the other hand, was GQ ready, custom-cut suit, gleaming watch, an outfit that screamed serious money. Serena, 30, parents alive and well, don't live with me. I own a little company called Caldwell. All sorts of random but stable business. Now I just want someone to share meals, share a bed, share life. When Miles saw me, his eyes actually lit a fraction. Maybe he'd never met a girl who shows up to a date looking this wrecked. Before I could ask anything, he'd finished his self-intro. Oh, conditions that stellar and he still needs a blind date. I didn't get it. I gave him the 10-cent tour of my own resume. He fired back, I'm very satisfied with you. Total deer in headlights. What exactly did he see that he liked? Can we go get the license as soon as possible? Miles smiled. So gorgeous. I morphed into a heart-eyed emoji and, possessed by some demon, nodded. Works for me. He checked his watch. City Hall's still open. Want to do it right now? Sure. A man this hot, even if the marriage tanks. I don't lose. I was going to be nagged into matrimony anyway. Better a hunk than a toad. So we high-fived the idea, marched into City Hall, and signed on every dotted line. Boom, married. Outside on the steps, I flipped through our brand new marriage certificate and sighed. Wow, turns out getting hitched is that simple. Before the awe could fade, my phone rang. Mom again. Well, I'd followed orders, showed up, dated, and even grabbed a husband. Surely the nagging would stop now. I picked up, and Mom's lion roar almost blew out the speaker. Serena, where are you? Little Colin's been waiting at the tea house forever. Did you stand him up again? Little Colin? Mom, what did you say his name was? Oh crap, wrong table. Stunned, I stared at Miles. He was busy photographing our two red books for Instagram. Colin? She barked. Lightning split my skull. I hung up on Mom, shoved the phone down, and turned to my brand new husband. Miles, we may have crashed the wrong date. If we run back inside, can we undo it? Miles whipped the certificates behind his back and shook his head. No divorce. Flat. Final decision. I did quick math. Miles is gorgeous and loaded. I'm not exactly taking a loss. Mom only cares that somebody finally married me anyway. Fine. Whatever. I'm heading home. Then, I took a few steps and realized he was right behind me. Why are you following me? Going home. We're married. He stepped up, laced his fingers through mine. We're husband and wife now. Staring at that big warm hand wrapped around mine, I felt an unexpected bubble of safety and curved a tiny smile. Miles took me to his place. I'd pictured some mega mansion. Turned out to be a normal, albeit tasteful, condo. Thought it'd be bigger, I blurted, though it already beat my shabby studio loft. We can upsize tomorrow if you want, Miles said, all gentle devotion. No, it's perfectly livable. I waved both hands, flustered. From reading countless romances I'd assumed every CEO is an iceberg who lives in a glass and steel palace. He's neither icy nor palatial. Shouldn't you tell your parents you got married? Yeah. I'll take you to the Caldwell estate tomorrow. So ancestral compounds really exist. Suddenly I was curious. I opened my mouth to say I should drag him home too when Mom rang again. I'd forgotten to inform her that her daughter is now a wife. Serena, you drag yourself back here within 2 days for a family tribunal. You unfilial brat. Ducking every blind date. Outrageous. She slammed the call dead before I could speak. I gaped at the screen. I'm adopted. Right. She'd had me on speaker. Miles stood there, jaw slack. I forced a laugh. I'll head home now. I'll drop you a pin. Come pick me up later. My manuscript isn't going to type itself, and my editor will murder me if I miss deadline. I'm going with you. I stared at the guy who just followed me into my cramped loft. His bespoke suit looked hilariously out of place amid my clutter. You're a big deal president. Don't you have work? Why is he shadowing me at home? My assistant's on it. I got married today. Honeymoon leave. Miles sounded completely reasonable. I want to eat with my wife. Sleep with my wife. What sort of boss is this? We met 12 hours ago, and you already want to cohabitate? Sure. He's eye candy, but my brain hasn't caught up to the word married. We're legal spouses. What's the problem? Miles hugged me like it was the most natural thing in the world. I still have to work. My mind flashed to the asleep part. My voice wobbled. It's still daylight. He laughed softly. What exactly were you imagining? I meant sleep eventually, not right this second. Realizing where my thoughts had detoured, I burned crimson. I can't cook. Kitchen's over there. Help yourself. I need to write. I wriggled free and sprinted to my room. Inspiration had just struck and I had to nail it down. Miles eventually hauled me out to eat. I'd hit half my word count when he barged in and physically towed me to the table. Yet one glance at the spread and I parked myself willingly. I was starving. All day I'd down nothing but 1 cup of coffee. Watching me wolf down food, Miles kept piling vegetables onto my plate and murmured, "Slow down. Nobody's stealing it." Gotta admit, I might have hit the jackpot. This president isn't domineering at all, but he's hot, loaded, gentle, and cooks. Ideal husband material. Still, something felt off, though I couldn't name it. That night I found out exactly what. I usually type my manuscript past midnight. He insisted on gluing himself to me. I just showered and opened my laptop when he sidled over. "Sweetheart, tonight's our wedding night and you're working?" The phrase wedding night froze my fingers over the keyboard. Before I could protest, he tugged me toward the bed. Miles, I'm not ready. Earlier I'd acted fearless, but this is my first marriage, 0 experience points. Don't worry, I'll teach you. His whisper against my ear sent every hair upright. I was half terrified, half thrilled. The marathon of firsts lasted until dawn blushed outside the window. Only then did he let me pass out, and my last conscious image was my editor's furious face. Miles cradled my sleeping form, perfectly content, and murmured, "You finally came to me." Meanwhile my phone, battery at 10%, blinked with a dozen unread WhatsApp messages. All ignored. I woke the next evening, stomach growling. For a moment I had total amnesia, until the memory slammed back along with the heavy arm draped over my waist. "Yo," I yelped. Yesterday I'd flash married a stranger and lost my virginity to him. He'd worked overtime all night, exhausting me so thoroughly I'd forgotten one crucial thing. I grabbed my phone from the nightstand, checked the time, and my stomach dropped. Crap. It's already night and I haven't filed my chapter. Ignoring the ache in every muscle, I peeled Miles's arm off me, didn't even bother with clothes, just wrapped the quilt around myself and waddled to my laptop to type and upload. Halfway through the scene, Miles spooned up behind me, slid under the blanket, and pressed his furnace-hot body against mine. My train of thought derailed instantly, and his wandering hands had me hammering the keys even faster. "Miles, I'm working. Behave." I shook my head, smacked his hand away, and kept typing. "If I don't post this, my editor will murder me." Wait, why is my phone so quiet? I realized the device in my hand wasn't even mine. My own was dark and dead on the desk. RIP me. When I powered it back on, notifications pinged nonstop for 2 solid minutes, hundreds of WhatsApp messages, and dozens of missed calls. Lily was probably combusting. Miles kept his hands to himself, but his mouth definitely didn't. He stayed under the blanket scattering kisses that tickled like crazy. Typing thousands of words is hard enough as it is. "Babe, are you done yet?" His muffled, tragic voice rose from somewhere near my ribcage. He'd been trying so hard. How could I still resist? Not yet. I didn't dare open Lily's messages. My fingers flew over the keyboard. I'd deal with his mischief later. "Keep it up and you'll be sorry," I warned, remembering the leather collar I bought back when I thought I'd get a dog. Might as well recycle it. The thought made me type faster. Tiny thrills shot through me. "Yeah, What kind of sorry, wifey? Yesterday's cool, aloof coffee shop CEO had vanished. This guy was pure mischief. I fought the giggles. Hit enter to upload the chapter. Ignored Lily entirely. Yanked the blanket off. And pinned Miles beneath me. Buddy, you're toast. I reached into the drawer and pulled out the matte black collar. Looked exactly like the ones in my novels. Wow. Kinky wife. I had no idea. Got any other toys? His eyes sparkled. He actually snapped the collar around his own neck. Perfect leading man material. I thought there was a cat ear headband thrown in for free. I opened the drawer wider. Sure enough. Ears and even a mini whip. I held the whip up, muttering, did I order a regular collar, or this thing? No clue what past me was thinking. Miles snatched the props. Pupils blown with excitement. And, honestly, so was I. Two lunatics in one bed. Miles, you are so done. I launched into every scenario I'd ever written. Visuals already rolling in my head. No way I'd waste the material. In the end, of course, I was the one flat on my back. Man's stamina should be illegal. Don't you have to take me to the Caldwell estate to meet your parents today? Next time, he said, washing me down with a warm cloth. Head bobbing until the room spun and I blacked out. Miles camped at my studio loft for 3 straight workdays, no office. Just sleep, watch me write, cook, scroll his phone like Caldwell didn't exist. Miles, it's broad daylight on a weekday. Don't you have a company to run? I paused typing, curious. He glanced up. Nope, I'm staying with you. My assistant has Caldwell covered. I don't need supervision. I'm fine. I do. I can't leave you. Nothing in my vocabulary fit. Weren't you going to Eastbrook? Perfect. I'll come. Meet the folks. Bring gifts. He was already texting his assistant a shopping list. Okay, wait, no. We were talking about you skipping work. How did we jump to visiting my parents? Flash fast pivot. I just want to be home with you. How can you kick me out? He tossed the phone, pounced, and started baby bunny nuzzling. If I go to the office you'll starve and I'll miss you. Or just come to Caldwell with me. I pressed my temples. Is this guy seriously the CEO of Caldwell? Pretty sure your Caldwell's going under. Take me on a tour tomorrow. Let me see the real thing. I'd written so many boardroom scenes I deserved the field trip. Done. Tomorrow. He lit up like Christmas. I finally got it. Clingy. Stage 5 clinger hubby. Miles lied again. Kept me chained to the loft another whole day. I almost regretted our instant marriage. The man's energy reserves were frightening. At Caldwell HQ the next morning, an assistant dragged him into a meeting. He tried to tow me along. I refused. I needed oxygen. Serena, you finally called. You ghosted me for 2 days. If you hadn't updated your serial, I'd have filed a missing person report. First thing I did in the CEO suite was phone Lily. Not missing. I laughed awkwardly. I got married. Busy making babies. Posting a chapter was the best I could do. I rubbed my slightly pudgy tummy. With the way we'd been going, maybe a tiny life was already clocking in. You what? That's straight out of a novel. Completely melodramatic. You'll never believe it. Spill. Now, radar pinging. Mom forced me to a blind date tea house. I sat at the wrong table. Got the wrong guy. Mega hottie CEO. He liked me. We signed the papers. And that's it. You tripped over a jackpot. Envy dripped through the speaker. Jackpot. I married him for face and wallet. But he's no prize. My spine still hurts. I needed my lower back. Pretty sure I heard footsteps outside the office. But the floor was empty for the meeting. Must be echoes. That's love. Honey, embrace it. Lily cackled. My fictional CEOs are alphas. This one's glue, won't unstick. Ruined the archetype. New material. Write what you know. You've got this. Gotta go. Touring the palace. Call you later. His office looked just like my book sets. Minimal. Glass. Skyline view. Perfect set. Wrong lead. I muttered. What lead? Miles walked in catching the tail end. Nothing. Neat desk. Meeting done? Yep. Come meet my people. Public wife debut. He dragged me out like a proud kindergarten kid. Gasps everywhere. Girls' hearts audibly cracking. Can you blame them? Dinner at the Caldwell estate tonight. Then you're Eastbrook tomorrow, he announced. Public be darned. Okay. Butterflies, rural me meeting dynasty in-laws after a snap wedding. In a distant corner, a plain girl kept her head down, thumbs flying over a secret message. Chapter 4. The Caldwell estate was old in every sense. Stone lions. Curved eaves. Hidden in suburbia yet breathing centuries of money. Your house is huge. Are your parents terrifying? Not at all. They've been begging to meet you since the certificate hit the family chat. We stepped through the gate and they were already waiting, plus a girl my age and a fitted cheongsam, hair twisted up, fragile beauty vibes, instant protect her instinct. Who's the pretty girl? I whispered to Miles beside me, but before he could answer, before he could even introduce us, his parents swept toward us. So this is my daughter-in-law. What a doll. Caldwell patted my back and kept on beaming, looking me up and down as if she wanted to take me apart and study every little piece. Mom, Dad, this is my wife, your daughter-in-law, Serena. Serena. Miles jumped in with the introductions. No one even glanced at him. Caldwell's enthusiasm left me frozen. Was that a smile hiding a knife? Or genuine affection? Auntie, nice to meet you. I picked this up for you and uncle. Hope it's not too humble. I handed over the tea and watched closely, expecting distaste. Instead, their faces lit up. What's with the auntie and uncle? Caldwell squeezed my hand, signaling an upgrade. I shot Miles a look. He mouthed the words. I swallowed. Dad and Mom. I'd never even called my own parents that formally. Caldwell beamed, took the premium tea brick, and passed it straight to Caldwell. Good girl. How could we dislike anything our daughter-in-law chooses? I'll store this treasure properly. Caldwell was just as gentle, telling a servant to carry it to the study. Come, don't stand there. Sit and tell me how you and Miles met. Caldwell tugged me onto the sofa and flipped on full-on chat mode. While Caldwell and I talked, Miles headed for the kitchen, and, out of the corner of my eye, the gorgeous little miss glided after him. I made up an excuse and tiptoed after them, camping outside the kitchen for gossip. I couldn't help it. From the second she appeared, she hadn't taken her eyes off my husband. As his wife, wasn't it my duty to sniff out the story? Miles, did you marry some random woman just so you wouldn't have to marry me? Came a sob from behind him. He spun around and found Brielle on his heels. No, I married her because I love her. His face was all sincerity. Auntie said you had to marry me, Brielle hiccuped, 2 fat tears rolling down. Mom never said that. She joked that if I refused to get married she'd make me wed you, but I'm married now. Miles' eyes narrowed, patient but firm. Outside, my ears were on high alert. Drama, so they really had history. But you moved out right afterward. This is your first time back. And you bring some so-called wife. I don't buy it. Brielle's makeup was migrating, yet Miles just stood there. No tissues offered. Believe what you want. I posted it on Instagram. Serena and I are legally married, and in this lifetime I will never divorce her. She can only have me as her husband, and the only wife I'll ever have is her. His voice rang steel. Oh. There's a story. My gut told me Miles' feelings weren't only the legal kind. Brielle, listen, my parents adopted you, but to me you're my little sister, nothing more. Now that I'm married, you need to reset your mindset. Don't waste any more time on me. He delivered the lecture like a CEO closing a bad deal. So that was the tale. Little sister pines. Big brother declines. Even crueler than star-crossed lovers. Brielle's sobs ruined what was left of her elegance. She stamped her heel and fled, storming past me. The eavesdropper, and shooting me a venomous glare before locking herself in her room. Yikes, from poised princess to wicked heiress in 2 seconds flat. I thought, what are you doing here? Hear everything? Miles strolled over and cinched an arm around my waist. The demon she glared at me extinguished my gossip flame. I meant it. I wouldn't put it past her to hire thugs. The villainess who can't have the hero destroys him, and his wife. Don't stress. She's usually gentle. Getting rejected stings. And you're the brand new sister-in-law. So you got splashed. Tisk. Poor little me. How about we divorce and I hand you back, then I stay safe. The hand on my waist clamped tighter. Miles nipped my ear. Try it and you'll never leave that bed again. Sweetheart. Message received. I won't. I answered almost before he finished. I understood perfectly. My wonderful life had only just started. We spent the night at the Caldwell estate. Caldwell outlining parental meet and greets, bride price, banquet plans, until my head spun. I wanted to yell, can we please skip the wedding? All of it. We didn't see Brielle again before leaving next morning. She was probably nursing her tantrum in her room. As I climbed into the car, I spotted her on the second-floor balcony. The instant our eyes met, she morphed, lips curling in a smug, challenging smile. No one else seemed to notice, but it chilled me. We didn't head home. Miles turned the car straight toward my hometown. Miles, aren't you needed at Caldwell? I sighed, flipping open my laptop to type my manuscript. At least I didn't have to drive. I'm needed, but I've earned enough. Now I need to plaster myself to my wife. His eyes stayed on the road. His words sweet enough to make me grin. Money's never enough. Who refuses more? I rolled my eyes, then frowned. How do you know the way? I never told you my address. I checked the GPS, spot on. Because I've been there. He snapped his mouth shut too late. When? Come clean. Don't tell me you stalked me. Then pretended it was a blind date mix-up so I'd land in your lap. I refused to admit I'd wandered over simply because he was gorgeous. It wasn't like that. He explained. He'd known me for ages, from afar. 5 years ago he'd visited Eastbrook, and we'd met, but I hadn't noticed him. The blind date disaster was pure coincidence. He'd liked what he saw. So marriage it was. His original date. He never even called her. No idea what happened after we left. No matter how I pried, he wouldn't reveal why he'd come to Eastbrook or how we'd met. Said I had to remember on my own. Infuriating. He did confess the reason he'd started dating at all. Brielle. He'd moved out and lined up blind dates because she confessed her love. And his parents really had threatened, if you won't marry Brielle. So he'd bolted. Turned out she told the truth. Except he'd chosen me because he liked me, not to escape her. That little confession filled my stomach with warm bubbles. I forgave him for skipping work just to glue himself to my side. You ungrateful girl, finally remembered your way home? Mom's lion roar greeted me the second I stepped out. I darted behind Miles. Hi, Lou. I'm Serena's husband. Miles. These are for you and Lou. Let me know if you'd like anything different. He defused the bomb with perfect manners. Husband. Whose husband did you say you are? Mom hit the brakes and stared. Serena, your daughter. I'm your son-in-law. Miles repeated. Solemn. Husband? Mom pointed at him, then swung to me. I nodded. Yep. My flash sale husband. Your daughter is officially off the market. Mom's face flipped faster than a light switch. Oh, my wonderful son-in-law. Come in. Come in. Gifts. You shouldn't have. Words and actions in total contradiction. Honey, come out. Your son-in-law's here. Dad shuffled out in slippers, equally confused, then beamed once Mom briefed him. Are these even my parents? They shepherded Miles inside, leaving me shivering in the cold. I was about to follow when a text from an unknown number popped up. Don't touch what isn't yours or you'll regret it. What scam bot sends threats now? I muttered, deleted it, and walked in. Mom's lion roar stayed on mute the next 2 days. Instead, she shooed me to take your bargain husband sightseeing. Word came that the man I should have met on that blind date was getting married. They'd clicked. Set a date. Everything. Same matchmaking day. Miles joked that his abandoned date and my abandoned date probably found each other. Proof of a wrong sedan. Right groom. Wrong sedan. My foot. More like wrong pirate ship. That girl may have married right. I landed Energizer Bunny. Mom slow cooks him chicken soup daily. At night he's unstoppable. My bones creak. And I pray Aunt Flo arrives early and stays long. He wants me to take him out all day and then play with him at night. I'm half dead from exhaustion. All I want is to lie motionless. Miles, how about I find that girl and trade husbands back? You're rich and hot. She'll totally agree. It's past midnight. I'm sprawled across Miles's chest. Too weak to lift a finger. Only my mouth still works. You're obviously not tired enough if you can joke like that. Let's keep going. The moment the words leave his lips he pins me again, swallowing my startled cry. In a daze my mind drifts to 5 years ago. Why he'd shown up in Eastbrook back then. Some developer was scouting land for boutique lodges. The dirt road in hadn't been graded yet. One rainy afternoon I found a half-starved, badly injured man on the roadside. He said his car had skidded, slammed a tree, and died. His passenger was unconscious. No cell signal. So, bleeding, he'd walked into Eastbrook for help. That man was Miles. Blood masked his face. I didn't get a good look. I rounded up half the village and left the rest to the paramedics. I never expected him to remember me. Maybe fate sent him back to repay the favor. I moved out of my cramped studio loft into Miles's place. The moment we returned from Eastbrook, he finally agreed to go back to the office, leaving me free to write. The short story contest had opened and I was starting a brand new chapter. This time I mined my own messy life for material. Lily had raised both hands in approval. We tweaked a few details and shoehorned in a classic villainess. I was still wondering how to write the next scene when the doorbell rang. Whoever it was, it couldn't be good. I opened the door to my less-than-friendly sister-in-law. As elegant as ever. Her cheongsam impeccable. Hey, Brielle. Right. Come in. I stepped aside. A second girl followed. Vaguely familiar, though I couldn't place her. Your brother's at Caldwell HQ. I said, thumbs already flying over my phone. I'll WhatsApp him. Have a seat. I fired off a SOS telling Miles to get home stat. Small talk with his sister is above my pay grade. No rush. I'm not here for Miles. I'm here for you. Brielle's smile was all silk, but the room felt colder. Then what do you want? We're basically strangers. Here to demand I step aside? Ha! Would you? The unknown girl snorted, contempt glazing her eyes. Sure. No problem. Miles signs. I'm gone. My lower back can't take his stamina anymore. The last sentence slipped out before I could stop it, and the mental picture of Miles tangled with Brielle made my stomach flip. Bragging on purpose? Brielle's mask cracked. I'd been about to fetch water. Now they could both stay thirsty. Those creepy texts I'd been getting. Safe bet they originated from her. Just facts. The man's a Duracell bunny. If the contest rules allowed explicit scenes, I'd have typed every page. Serena, you think Miles loves you. He only married you to dodge engagement to me. He belongs with me. Brielle's voice rose. I kept glancing at the door, still no sign of rescue. Waiting for Miles. He won't make it. Brielle's grin turned serpentine. He's passed out at a hotel. After I deal with you, I'll crawl in beside him. I don't care that you've slept with him. He'll be sleeping with me from now on. She flicked a glance at her sidekick, who instantly clamped my arms behind me. My pulse hammered. How could a cliché this ancient be happening in real life? I cursed Miles 10,000-fold and prayed he'd read my text. What are you planning? I fought to keep my voice steady as Brielle approached. She drew a bottle from her purse. The liquid inside was sickly yellow. You're going to taste a stranger, sweetheart. Once the video hits the internet, the world will know you're filthy trash who stole another woman's man. Seek help, psycho. Your brother keeps saying just siblings. So quit writing fan fiction. I braced, ready to kick. You're the sick one. Miles should be mine. If you'd never sat at that wrong table, I'd be living here. She lunged, clawing for my mouth. I thrashed, heels flailing, and managed to clip her elbow. 2/3 of the potion splashed across the rug. Snarling, Brielle scooped up the dregs and lunged again, just as the front door slammed open. Miles barreled in to find me gagging. Brielle pinching my jaw. Let her go, now. Miles crossed the room in 3 strides. Brielle dropped the bottle into the trash. The hired muscle released me and shrank back. I wilted onto the couch, Miles hauling me against his chest. Suddenly his clingy routine felt like bliss. If he'd skipped work today. Brielle, what did you give her? He growled. Oh, only a little, a mild thing. I wanted her to regret marrying you. She was trembling. Heat surged through my veins. She'd actually drugged me. Couldn't she have just threatened? Zoe, cops. Take them. This isn't over. My parents are 10 minutes out. Escort them to the precinct. I'll follow once she's stable. Spotting my flushed cheeks, Miles barked orders to his assistant, scooped me up, and carried me to the bedroom. I felt near combustion. Clothes became optional. I tackled him onto the mattress. The drug was rocket fuel. When the fire finally cooled, I was limp as linen. Miles kissed my forehead, cleaned me up, then headed to the station. Later I heard he refused to back down. So Caldwell Sr. had no choice. Brielle could cool her heels in county for 10 to 15 days. On release she'd board a one-way flight abroad. Caldwell had already bought the ticket. The woman who'd helped her was a junior clerk at Caldwell HQ. She was canned and blacklisted industry-wide, career over. As for me, Miles announced he'd work from home indefinitely, still rattled. I vetoed that instantly. It was a fluke. Had I known, I'd never have opened the door. I'm not risking it, he insisted, arms crossed. Relax. I swear, no random visitors. Promise. Think of the baby. Yes, baby. His diligent husbandry had paid off. The morning after the incident he dragged me for tests. The doctor pointed to a lentil-sized dot on the screen. Miles now presses his ear to my belly nightly, hoping for Morse code. Caldwell and my mom shuttle over with soups until I'm nauseated. The two of them shop like long-lost sisters. Wedding set for month end, Miles refuses to wait. Afraid I'll show. I stay home typing and snacking. The bump hasn't popped, but my genes have surrendered. Serena, I love you, he vowed at the altar, voice trembling. I blushed and managed, love you too. My contest entry won. I emailed Miles the file. He raved for days, incredulous that I'd spun our chaos into an award winner. Now he's pitching publishers, nuts. Right. I nixed the idea fast. Let me stay a quiet little author, please. For once in my life, I lack nothing, except maybe my next plot twist.